Does LYE work as a natural dewormer for livestock? In this video, I'm going to share vet-tested results that will give you the answer. I'm going to share exactly how I administered LYE to act as a dewormer, the animals I ran this test on, as well as the detailed results from the veterinary office, which reveal how effective or not that LYE is as a natural dewormer for livestock. Very interesting stuff upcoming, so let's get to it. But before we do, if you're on this video because you're looking to raise sheep or goats, make sure to download my free PDF ebook, The 13 Things You Need to Raise Sheep. Much of it crosses over to goats, and it's really going to give you a good head start as a beginner raising either sheep or goats. Check the first link in the description of this video to download that for free. Now, if you are like me, you've seen or received a message about the viral LYE as natural dewormer for livestock videos. Pigs, sheep, goats, cattle, chickens. This viral video claims that LYE works as a dewormer for all classes of livestock. The man who published this video says that he's been using LYE as a livestock dewormer for 17 years with no negative side effects observed in his animals. He cites that LYE has no meat withdrawal period and no milk withdrawal period. And a withdrawal period is just a time period in which you cannot eat the meat or drink the milk of an animal that has been dewormed with chemical dewormer. Withdrawal period is necessary because chemical residuals may present themselves in either the meat or the milk directly after using chemical dewormers. The withdrawal time period ranges from 2 weeks to 8 weeks depending on what kind of chemical dewormers you are using. So when I watched this video, I was really intrigued, but I was also really skeptical. I was intrigued because those animals looked healthy. Their hair coat was shiny, they were really well conditioned, all things that indicate that from the inside out they were healthy animals. But I was skeptical because there was really no data provided to tell me that the LYE was directly reducing the egg count or the worm count, the parasite count within these animals. And then all of the follow-up videos I found were kind of the same. This works for me, seems like it works, etc. So I decided to perform an informal research project here at my farm to gather the numbers and the data that I was craving. But first I want to make a quick disclaimer. This video is in no ways encouraging you to deworm your livestock with LYE. LYE is actually a caustic substance, can burn your skin, it can burn the gut lining of your animals, and really may actually kill your animals. I am not a veterinarian, so make sure to consult yours before giving anything whatsoever to your livestock to deworm them. But back to it. I used my small goat herd to test the LYE as a dewormer concept. Now the herd is about 7 head in total, 2 kids at 6 months old and 5 adults. So I was able to test on both kids and adult goats. To be honest, I tested this small group of 7 goats instead of my sheep flock because, given the previous disclaimer, I really was not sure if the LYE would do any harm to my animals or not. My goats are dairy goats. One of the adult nannies in this test group was really badly infected with parasites, namely the Barber's poleworm. And you can see here she has a very severe case of bottle jaw, which indicates a very severe infection. To begin the research project, I actually removed the goats from the pasture and put them into a pen. And I controlled their feed 100%, giving them a 50-50 ration of all stock feed pellets and alfalfa pellets, also providing them Bermuda hay free choice. Now, removing the goats entirely from pasture and putting them into a controlled environment for the duration of this test eliminated any external factors that would either increase or decrease their parasite counts. This gave me a crystal clear idea of exactly what kind of impact the LYE treatment did or did not have on the parasite counts. So once I penned the goats, I ran the first of 3 fecal egg counts to find out what the initial parasite or worm load was inside of these goats. Now, fecal egg counts are the primary means of determining whether a deworming method is effective. You need to run a fecal egg count both before and after you deworm your animal. If a given deworming method is effective, there will be a significant reduction in egg count numbers in that second test. And to run a fecal egg count, you need to take roughly 4 to 5 pieces of goat or sheep manure to the vet. And from there, the vet will provide you with an egg count on those manure samples. So according to my vet, around 800 eggs per gram or less is what you want to aim for in a healthy sheep or goat. Numbers higher than this represent a pretty significant parasite infection that you need to kind of get proactive against. So now that you kind of know a little bit about the process, back to the test. I ran fecal egg counts on 2 of the 7 goats in this test group. Daisy with the bottle jaw, and Maria. Results from test number 1, before I administered any LYE, showed an egg count of 5,400 eggs per gram for Daisy and 1,250 eggs per gram for Maria, which means that yes, both goats were significantly infected with the Barber's poleworm, far beyond that 800 egg per gram threshold. After this first test is when I gave the first dose of LYE as a dewormer. I followed the instructions almost exactly from that viral video, giving my 7 goats 1 teaspoon of LYE dissolved in 2 cups of water, coating 2 gallons of feed. And then I simply fed it to the goats, who ate it quite willingly. 2 days later, I took a second round of fecal samples from Daisy and Maria to the vet for the second test, and results from test number 2 showed a fecal egg count of 1,200 eggs per gram for Daisy, down from 5,400 and 750 eggs per gram for Maria, down from 1,250. Now, this was a significant reduction, but these numbers are still really high. As a reminder, 800 eggs per gram is about maximum in terms of healthy levels. So at this point, I took a risk and administered a second round of LYE treated feed to these 7 goats. The same protocol as the first time around. 1 teaspoon of LYE dissolved in 2 cups of water, poured over 2 gallons of feed, and mixed thoroughly, given to the goats, who once again ate it quite willingly. 2 days after that second dose, I took a third set of fecal samples from Daisy and Maria to the vet for a third test. So after that third test, the results came back. The vet called me and they said, there are no worms in these goats. And I said, there's always some worms. What are the numbers? And she said, well, the numbers are so low, it's really not worth counting. If I had to say, we're looking at about 150 eggs per gram for Daisy and 300 eggs per gram for Maria. And I was absolutely shocked, if I'm honest. The LYE cleaned my goats out of pretty much all of their worms. I personally observed no negative side effects in my goat herd despite administering this 2 times in the space of 1 week. What are your thoughts? I kind of want to hear in the comments section. Is this too risky? Have you had success using LYE as a dewormer at your farm? Would you use LYE as a dewormer for your animals? Have you encountered any negative side effects? Tell me about them in the comment section. I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation and seeing where it goes, and watch this video next if you want a side-by-side comparison of sheep versus goats for your homestead directly from my farm after raising them side by side for a full year myself.